Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Rocket League News. This is the series where we go everything that happened in this last week in Rocket League. And as always, before we start the video, if you guys do enjoy, hit subscribe. Hey, so as of right now, it looks like 65% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. Let's see if we could get that number to 110% of people subscribed. But seriously though, thank you guys for all the support on the channel lately. Yeah, everyone who's subscribed, leaves likes, it means a lot. This channel is really taking off and I have you guys to thank. So thank you. You guys also follow me on Twitter if you want, and you guys can keep up to date with just stuff that's going on, I guess. But yeah, let's get right into the video. So, very first, we have Rizzo, and Rizzo actually leaked a new Rocket League tournament coming up, a big one. So, I'll give you some context for this. So, Rizzo was playing with Lethamyr on his stream, and it sounds like Lethamyr and Rizzo had thought that this new Goldrush event was already announced. So, then that leads to this. I'll go play the clip right now.
Oh, I don't know if it's been announced, right? The Goldrush 3, I believe, like that it's happening.
I don't know.
I believe they put something out that it's gonna be happening. So I'm free to say this, but I'm gonna be creating like. Have you ever watched Mario Maker, like those races that they do?
So, as you guys can see right here, it looks like there will be a Goldrush 3 event happening, because Lethamyr accidentally leaked it on Rizzo's stream. And to be completely fair, there has been a lot of talks about Goldrush coming back. We had this tweet from JamesBot and this back and forth thing going on with Goldrush. So it hasn't been officially announced yet. However, a lot of people in the Rocket League community had already had their suspicions that Goldrush might be coming back. A lot of people are actually getting mad at Lethamyr for leaking this, which honestly, I mean, I don't see the big deal. It happens. I mean, he didn't do it on purpose, and it's not like it's the end of the world or anything, so. Plus, with all the rumors going around, people kind of already knew. Also, at the same time, something that's very interesting is if you heard the end of the clip, I'll play that real quick again for you guys.
I'm free to say this, but I'm gonna be creating like. Have you ever watched Mario Maker, like those races that they do?
So if you don't know what he's talking about, in Super Mario Maker, they do races where someone will create a map and then they'll have just a race so you can finish it first. Sometimes they'll do a relay race. So it sounds like what Lethamyr is going to do is he's going to actually be creating some maps specifically for this tournament. At least that's what I got from reading the comments section of Reddit, because I can't find the full clip, but it seems like this is what he's going to do, and it's pretty cool. You know, Leth has made some really good maps in the past, and if he's making maps for whatever this Goldrush event's going to be, maybe it's going to be like a relay race, maybe it's just going to be 2 people compete to see who finishes this first, maybe it'll be a specific event during Goldrush. We'll see. Another thing to note is that Goldrush in the past was a LAN event, and if the, this whole virus incident doesn't clear up, then we probably won't be able to have Goldrush until everything clears up, which would kind of suck, but, safety first. We'll see. But should be good nonetheless. Lethamyr's created some really cool stuff in the past. Next up in the news, we got Veloce are trying out Archie with Freaky this time. So we had this tweet from Shift Rocket League Esports saying, despite the good threes performance in the Fusion Rocket League qualifiers, Veloce with the squad of Cassio, Flame, and Archie, Veloce are continuing tryouts to figure out the best possible roster for RLCS Season 10. This time, the duo of Freaky and Flame tried out with Archie instead of Cassio. So basically what this is saying is they're going to be trying out Freaky instead of Cassio, because Cassio was on the roster for Fusion, and it looks like they want to keep Archie in the long run, which is pretty cool. So if you don't remember, Archie was on the Clappers back in the Rocket League Spring Series. Him, Jorias, and Calyx actually played extremely well. Jorias ended up on Dignitas as of right now, and it looks like Archie's, still trying to find a spot to go to. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him. And then next up the news, this one's kind of a fun one. We have Lethamyr, and he says, I hereby challenge at Sunlesskhan and Adam Musky Cow to a game of upgrade. So basically it's just a game mode that Lethamyr made up, and it sounds like it'll be him versus Sunlesskhan and Musty, which is just gonna be pretty cool, and I know a lot of people in the Rocket League scene would like to see that. And then next up we have Team BDS, and they are trying out with Cash. So if you guys don't know, Team BDS is the newly promoted RLCS team, and we have this tweet saying Team BDS have been trying out Cash in their open spot after both parties failed to make the main event. Now, Remember, Cash was in RLRS last season, and he was just a monster on the team that he played on. Cash is an insanely good player. And however, there are a lot of people who would like to see Cash on an RLCS team. You have to remember that this is still just tryouts. We don't know what's going on. None of these rosters have really been finalized yet. We even see that Jory is on Dignitas. However, that might not even last for long. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then more roster changes. This next one comes from Team Singularity, and Team Singularity might be making a roster change as well. We have this tweet, and it says, despite qualifying for the Fusion Rocket League main event, Team Singularity's Noly is keeping his options open. Noly recently has tried out with Barca Esports ahead of a long off season, leading up to RLCS Season 10. Now, let me tell you the implications of what this could mean. So obviously, Scrubkilla was not on the team last season, so Scrubkilla joined Singularity. Now, Rocket League, or at least RLCS, has a 2/3 roster rule. And that means that to compete in the next season of RLCS, you have to have at least 2/3 of your starting roster from last season. So, in this case, it would be Noly and Tho. They got rid of Godsmilla for Scrubkilla. So, what does this mean if Noly leaves? This would mean that Team Singularity forfeits their RLCS spot. However, the only way that they would be able to keep their RLCS spot is if they brought back Godsmilla because of this 2/3 roster rule. As you guys remember, I talked about in a previous video, Godsmilla was benched, and obviously Godsmilla has been looking for a new team. But yeah, if Noly actually does leave, then it would put them in kind of a tight spot because they would need Godsmilla back because, I mean, they just wouldn't be allowed to compete in RLCS regardless then because of that 2/3 roster rules. So very scary stuff coming out from this team, especially because Scrubkilla is on it, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to see Scrubkilla actually compete in RLCS. And I've been loving the comments on this. Like, Scrub once hated Tho, now he's his only teammate. The comments on this has been amazing, and I love them. But yeah, it looks like obviously FC Barcelona is still trying to find that perfect third for them. A lot of these European teams still trying to find that perfect third. Obviously, it looks like Flakes is going to be with his own team. That's why he left Barca Esports. But yeah, we'll definitely see what happens with some of these rosters in the future. Next up, I talked about how Cash was trying out with Team BDS. Well, Extra, who was previously on AS Monaco, has also been trying out with new teams, and Team BDS is also one of them. We have this tweet from AS Monaco Esports, end of our first Rocket League chapter, really good times with Extra, Ignite, and Tigre. Remember, AS Monaco was demoted to RLRS while BDS was promoted to RLCS, and Extra and Ignite seem to be free agents right now. So with Extra and Ignite being free agents, it'll be interesting to see if they get on to maybe a new team or a new RLCS team. A lot of people in the Rocket League community really love Extra, really want to see him do well in the RLCS. A lot of people really liked how he looked last season. So yep, definitely going to see what happens with him. And then this last thing that I actually wanted to go over, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go over it at first, but it's called Pro Drops, and it's supposed to be this new card trading system in Rocket League. It's an external thing, right? It's not by Psyonix. It's you would download a third-party application, and then in-game you can actually get cards. And I haven't looked too in depth of this. If you guys want, I'll link you to it. There's a Discord. I'll link the Discord in the description in case anyone's curious. But the way I see it, you can score a goal or do something in game, and then you can gain a card, and it could be a common card or it could be a very rare card, and it'll be a card of, let's say, the players or something. I'll play a little bit of the trailer on screen. I'm not sure if it's copyright the music, so I'm just not gonna have any music or any sound, but this is basically what it is. Looks kind of cool if this is exactly how it works. You know, you score a goal and you can get a card, and if everyone's using it, you can trade with others. It's supposed to be an alpha right now, but as you can see, there's like a Ronicky in the Discord, Sebadams, you know, some big names are in it, and you know, I guess we'll see just where it goes. It could be a really cool thing, like, you know how Bake's mod became a really big third-party, I guess you'd say, mod for Rocket League. Maybe this could be something too. I haven't looked too much into it, but I'll link you in the description, so if you guys are curious, you guys can look into it. And then, last but not least, at the end of every Rocket League news, I cover tournament results, and we're going to go over what's happened in the Fusion tournament so far. And this is going to be days 1 through 3 because I'm making this video after day 3. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, then maybe skip ahead to the end. So first up, what are the results right now? So Affinity, Rogue, and Space Station are all tied for first place, while 72 PC, Divine, and Vision all tied for 4th place. 7th place is Team Envy and Stromboli with just 0 wins. Now, I talked about before how I think Rogue is favorite to win this tournament. However, I think that Space Station has a really good shot as well. But the problem with Space Station Gaming is that, yes, they're really good in 3s and 2s, but their 1v1 game is definitely lacking. Probably one of the lowest in this entire tournament. So yeah, we'll definitely see what happens with that. And here are the brackets. Here's what happened so far. Some of the results: Space Station, Affinity, and Rogue in the 3s. They move on to the semifinals, while Space Station, Rogue, and Vision in the semifinals of the 2v2. And the 1v1 is completely different. Affinity, 72 PC, and Divine all showing up in the 1v1 game. So yep, that's what's happened with that so far. I'll keep you guys up to date in my Rocket League news videos on what's going on with the Fusion tournament. And before we end this video, I really do want to say thank you to the people who, sometimes people will DM me on Twitter, and just to make sure that I don't miss anything, or like I don't miss some news, or let's say a player comes out and says something on his stream. Obviously, I can't watch every single stream at every single point of the day. So some people that watch me are nice enough to DM me on Twitter with links to some certain clips, and you know, that's how I get some of my clips every now and then, or some of the stuff that I see. So I like to thank you guys, just to the people who really do help out, because obviously this is my channel that I made, but you guys really do help me at a lot of times. So because it is really hard for me to collect every little bit and piece of information that everyone says on their stream, blah blah blah, you know. So thank you guys for that, really do appreciate it. And that is pretty much everything I wanted to go over. That is everything that happened this past week in Rocket League, all the major stuff. Biggest thing probably being the tournament leak. And yeah, hopefully we'll have some more interesting stuff come out in the future for me to cover. Remember, if you guys obviously did enjoy the video, you guys should subscribe, because the more subs the better, I guess. And if you guys do want, as always, you guys can follow me on Twitter and even leave a like on the video, because it all helps me out. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support, I really do. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.